Oh, that's
this is in years now.
It was really great working with you
You're
and
not gonna be here
everything.
tomorrow?
No, I'm leaving.
Oh,
for
right, you're going to
Connecticut.
Connecticut.
Good
Oh,
luck
how
with
about a
everything.
Connecticut?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good luck with everything. Good luck going back to Ohio and
Oh,
with
thank you.
school and hopefully maybe everything else will be keeping or Delaney else will be keeping in Ohio State.
Hopefully, we need more of them. It's Ohio. It's not
Ohio State campaign or something.
Really?
What's it called?
her campaign at Ohio State, which is actually a big deal. 'Cause, like, Ohio State
Ohio's
is
a
important.
very big deal.
People there think they turned 2012, which, like, I don't know. But they think that.
Of course, they
Good
do.
luck with
Every
everything.
state thinks it's
We
the
are
turn
not stuck with the
2012.
election, but it's very exciting for her.
Yeah, that's
Well, technically she's
Career
not federal employee, so
ambitions.
she can talk about it.
So let's see.
Okay.
I'm technically not. They have the federal government is the other thing.
Yeah, there we go.
It says I need
Let me
We
try
gave you
again.
a nice cold room to sit in.
It was really great meeting you and working with
It
you
was
over the
really
summer.
good
Good luck
too.
with everything.
When I'm back in DC.
Yeah, for sure. When you're no longer like living in intern, we can go out for like drinks.
And when I'm actually able to go get next summer.
She can get drinks
Next
now.
summer.
Great, next summer she'll be 21.
I'm supervisor for
She'll be 21 and then we go out for drinks and everything. So good luck.
just there.
Thanks.
You'd be the cool
Just
one.
in time. This is
Yeah,
like
regular
responsible.
How are you?
Is there anything else you need from me here?
No, go.
No?
Leave. Go. You're out.
Safe travels to Connecticut.
Yay.
I don't understand why that didn't work.
Remember what country? Did I tell you how I went to one of my like relative like summer clubs and they thought I worked there? If I was wearing like a polo like short.
Let me try again.
I got stopped at least like oh yes, I don't work here. I'm sorry, I'm not one of these people of color.
We need a t-shirt. I belong.
I belong.
I'm one of you. Go do it at my meeting as well.
Have a good weekend, y'all.
Bye, Kyle.
Bye, Kyle.
I hate this interface so much.
Hi.
Doesn't make any sense. Because I'm broadcasting. You know what, Elaine? We should just broadcast from here, except that we don't have your PowerPoint here. And
I can email it to you.
okay,
Okay.
let's do that. It is MLEKAT@gmail.com.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Here it is. Now we have no viewers. Everybody's confused. Worst comes to worst, you just do it and record it, and then we'll have it for everybody to see. But
That's fine too. That's how I saw the Instagram one.
yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't watch it at the time, but I watched it later.
Okay, that should be everybody that accepted. Yes. Okay, so we don't have to start until anybody's on. Do you want to sit or do you want to stand?
Either works for me. Okay. Thanks, Dan.
Sometimes Google makes really bad decisions.
So they won't be able to see me though, will they?
They will. Well,
They
if
will.
it's a full screen and you're sharing the screen of the training, then they won't
they
be able to
won't.
see you.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
let me pull up the training really quick.
Because that's how Sarah's was.
Right.
Like they could only see her at the beginning.
Right. Yes, that's how it will be on this too.
Okay.
I have it angled this way so you can get the good light coming in.
I'm sure everyone will really appreciate it.
Oh, man, I blew this. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. Just more sad for the thousands of anxious viewers. Yeah. Was bringing Tumblr to the masses.
I know. My ears are clean, I promise, if you want to use these. Let's see if we get anybody on, and then we can. Well, I'll get on and view it from my computer.
Okay.
Yeah, I started it and then I ended it and then it didn't let me restart it, so I had to create a new event. Oh, thank you. Oh, there we go. I'm double muting myself. Oh, but it doesn't count me as a viewer because
It's your account.
Yeah. Are you in it? Okay. Did you get the updated link?
Yeah.
And that's still just the recording?
So on my regular link, you're broadcasting.
Right.
But it's not showing up if you're watching. So there's the viewer link and then there's the participant link for hangouts.
Yeah, but either way, yeah. Only weird people because we're the only ones that invited. Everybody else should be able to. Not a great platform. It's working on Alex's machine, but it still says we have no viewers. This is so weird.
Should I go see if I can get on it from the computer in there?
No, it should be working. Google
Okay.
Link isn't working for me. I'm in a cafe, so maybe YouTube works fine. Okay, well, all right. Okay. All right, so maybe we should. All right.
What's in that?
Sounds like people are watching, so.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Hello, everybody out there. If you're watching, we're having some technical difficulties, but we're going to get started with our training. And I'm just going to immediately turn it over to Elaine Cleary, who has been our digital intern for the summer. And she has done a lot of great research on Tumblr, and she's going to describe what it is and how it should be used. So turning it over to Elaine. There you go.
Thank you. All right, I'm just going to dive right in. Is that good?
Yeah, I think you're, yeah.
All right. All right, so I've prepared a sort of how-to tutorial for getting started with Tumblr, and I've included a really broad range of content, so this should be useful if you've never heard of or used Tumblr before, or if you've been using it for a while but want some new tips. So let's get started. The basics. Tumblr is a microblogging platform and social media networking website founded by David Karp, and it's currently owned by Yahoo. Tumblr launched in 2007, and within weeks of launching, it had over 75,000 users.
I'm not sure if the screen is sharing.
Is the screen not?
I'm not seeing the screen. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, try that.
Which one?
That first one, entire screen. Ooh. Stop.
So many technical difficulties.
Yeah.
Okay.
It should be showing up.
So,
Let me just grab Alex and see.
all right.
Hey, can someone comment? Can you ask them to comment if they could see the presentation?
Sure.
On the thing? Hold it in the chat window.
Can someone comment in the chat window if you can see the presentation?
And we can also do it. Why don't we switch computers?
Okay. All right, so plug in the headphones.
I know.
Okay, we're working on it. We're gonna get it. Now we're gonna share screen.
Oh, yeah.
Screen.
Um,
I don't know why it's doing that infinite thing.
there it is. We
It's
got
working.
it. Yes.
Should I start once again?
Yes, you can start over.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Sorry about that. We are starting over. All right, so introduction to Tumblr. Once again, Tumblr, microblogging and social networking platform, founded in 2007. It was a huge hit immediately. It had over 75,000 users within the first few weeks of launching. It's currently owned by Yahoo as of 2012. Because Tumblr has so many different features for sharing content, it's been described as the nexus of Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest or Instagram, and also Blogger or WordPress. A post that you could see on Facebook, a tweet from Twitter, visual content from Instagram or Pinterest, all of those you could find on Tumblr. Tumblr allows users to post multimedia and other content to mini blogs. So they're originally called Tumblr blogs, which is the name Tumblr. And as of 2014, the site had 195 million blogs, 83.1 billion total posts, and 97 million daily posts. Who uses Tumblr? So using Tumblr lets you reach an audience that's often overlooked by other social media platforms. It's popular with young adults and with college graduates, but it also has more lower income users than Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and more non-Caucasian users than other social media platforms. So let's take a look at Tumblr's demographics. Age on Tumblr. For 13 to 25-year-olds, Tumblr is more popular than Facebook. Young people tend to stay on Tumblr for longer periods of time than they stay on other social media platforms. Tumblr is more than just a site for teenagers, though, because 88% of Tumblr users are over the age of 18. Household income on Tumblr. 68% of Tumblr users come from less affluent backgrounds compared to 50% of the rest of the internet, which is good if you're trying to reach more less affluent viewers. Education level on Tumblr. 57% of Tumblr users have a college degree, either bachelor's or master's. And most interestingly, ethnicity on Tumblr. Hispanic users are more likely than any other demographic to post on Tumblr, and of Tumblr users, they make up the largest non-Caucasian contingent. Non-white users are more likely to use Tumblr than any other social media platform in general, so that's including African American, Asian, Hispanic, and other identified users who are surveyed. So let's figure out how to use Tumblr. You start by creating an account, so I'll walk through the process. So if you type in www.tumblr.com, you'll be prompted to hit sign up, and then you'll be asked to create a username. Picking a username is a little like picking a handle for Twitter or Instagram. It's important that it be concise and easy to read and also easy to type, because your username will be the way that potential followers can find you using Tumblr's search function. Your username should tell followers what your blog is. So the username for the Peace Corps Tumblr is peacecorps.tumblr.com. Next, you'll be asked to follow 5 blogs. When deciding who to follow, it's good to think about the kind of blog that you want to have and the kind of followers you want to attract. So follow blogs that match those descriptions. So for Peace Corps, our Tumblr follows our volunteers, other international development agencies like the United Nations, and other humanitarian or travel blogs. Interacting with other blogs on Tumblr is a really good way to build your own feed and gain followers. Since following and followers counts are invisible to other users, no one will know how many blogs you follow, so you should feel free to follow as many blogs as possible. Next, you'll be directed to your dashboard. After you follow blogs, their posts will start to show up on your dashboard. The dashboard is the homepage of Tumblr. It's sort of like the newsfeed on Facebook, and it shows people's posts in real time. The dashboard is where most content is shared among Tumblr bloggers. So now you can learn how to share your own content. If you go to the top of your dashboard, there'll be a bar with 7 icons for sharing original content on your blog. You can click any of those icons to share text posts, pictures, quotes, links, dialogue, audio, or videos. So to interact with other users on Tumblr, you use the like and the reblog buttons. You do not have to follow someone to like or reblog their posts, but posts that show up on your dashboard only come from blogs that you follow. So to like a post, click the heart button in the bottom right corner. Posts that you like will show up under the Likes tab on your blog. The person whose post you like will also receive a notification alerting them that you liked their post. To reblog a post, you click the reblog button next to the like button in the bottom right corner of the post. Reblogging posts is similar to retweeting on Twitter or sharing on Facebook. If you click the reblog button, that post will show up on your own blog. Before you share on your blog, you can alter the content by either adding a caption or adding hashtags. Unlike Facebook, though, it's considered bad form on Tumblr to alter a post that you're reblogging unless your changes somehow enhance the value of the post. So for example, if I were sharing this post of baby goats in Mongolia on Facebook, I might add a caption like cute or aw, but on Tumblr, that kind of behavior is considered silly and sometimes even rude. So the best way to interact with other people's content is through hashtags, which cannot be shared through reblogging and are unique to each individual reblogged post. So some tips for tagging content. Tagging content is not only a good way to get likes and followers because your hashtags are searchable using the search function, but it's also a way to personalize or add commentary to posts. There are unlimited characters and you can have spaces between words, so your hashtags are easier to read. Using 3 to 7 hashtags per post is usually enough to get some attention without seeming desperate. So for Peace Corps Tumblr posts, I always hashtag Peace Corps, the name of the country, and then something about the content of the post. So before you post content, either original or reblogged, you can decide whether you want to post it immediately or schedule it for a specific time in the future or add it to your queue. If you click schedule near the bottom of that list, you can pick a specific date and time to post. Until then, the post will wait in your queue where you can either edit or delete it before the post date. If you use the queue function, you can arrange and schedule posts. So you access the queue by clicking queue under the person icon at the top of the home page. You can personalize your queue so that your content automatically posts at the optimal times for your followers. So some best practices for posting content. Because Tumblr's user base is so young, it's best to post outside of school hours. You tend to get the most likes and reblogs when you post either before 9 a.m., from 12 to 2 p.m. lunchtime, or after school from 4 in the afternoon to around midnight. The most likes and reblogs usually are between 9 and 11. So building your own blog. So if you go to the person icon and click on your blog's name, you will be directed to your blog's feed, which will show all of your posts and also how many likes and reblogs those posts have. So this post doesn't have any likes or reblogs yet, but if it did, it would show underneath the post. If you double click on your username, you can go to your blog's homepage. So this is the page that users will be directed to when they search your blog's username. You can personalize the background and content arrangement. You can see our first post, our avatar, and a link to the archive underneath, which I'll explain in a moment. To edit your post, go to Edit Theme, or to edit your blog, sorry, go to Edit Theme in the top right corner and click where you can edit your blog's appearance. So at the top of the sidebar, there's a tab for creating a blog title. Your blog title can be as long as you want it to be, and it can be a little more nuanced than your username. It should convey the essence of your blog and also invite users to explore and interact with your content. So if you click Browse Themes, at the top you can select a theme that fits the style of your blog. So themes are like the colors and arrangement of content that your blog has. So when picking a theme, make sure that your theme will present content in a way that's easy to read and to share. There are thousands of different themes available on Tumblr, so it's very easy to find an option that's unique and personal. For one example of a blog theme, this is the Peace Corps Tumblr. You can see that our blog is bright, it's easy to read, it's easy to share. You can scroll down and see all of the posts that we've made in the past several weeks. The posts are large, they're easy to interact with. All right, this is the Peace Corps archive. So you remember I mentioned the archive before. The archive holds all the posts that you've ever made in chronological order. So you can see the posts for August are at the top, July underneath, and if you scroll down, you would see all the posts that we've made since we've been on Tumblr. Using the archive is a good way to keep track of your content and look at follower content. So when scoping out a potential blog, you can look at their archive to see how long they've been on Tumblr, the kind of posts that they make, etc. All right, so now we'll talk about some of Tumblr's features. Tumblr has a feature that allows you to track followers. You can see how other users are responding to your content. If you click on the lightning bolt at the top of the homepage and underneath click the graph icon, you'll be directed to the analytics page. On this page, you can track followers and notes over time. So the word notes refers to combined likes and reblogs on a post. Each like or reblog on a post equals 1 note. So if a post has 45 notes, that means that 45 people either liked it or reblogged it. You can see which of your followers are your biggest fans and interact with your content all of the time underneath the graph. You can also see which posts perform the best over a period of time. That's next to the biggest fans under top post. You can personalize what time period you want to look at from past month, past week, past 3 days, and past 24 hours. You can also see recent activity underneath. So you can see here, we've gotten a new follower, that's the blue plus next to the name. We've gotten some new likes and new reblogs on our most recent posts. All right, the Ask feature. So this is a little utilized feature on Tumblr, but it can be important. The Ask feature is a way for users to send you private messages. If you go to the top of the homepage and double click on the envelope icon, the Ask feature will open up. It's a good way for you to gauge how people are reacting to your content, and it's sent in the form of private messages that you can either choose to respond to or ignore. Next to the Ask feature is the Explore feature. So if you double click on the eyeball icon, the Explore feature will let you search content using keywords and hashtags. It's a good way to find new blogs to follow or new content to reblog. So using Tumblr is all about understanding the rules of the website. Tumblr has a very distinct culture that's different from other social media platforms, and with that comes its own language. So here are a couple of slang words to remember. Dash is the dashboard, similar to Facebook newsfeed. It shows people's posts over time. So a lot of times people on Tumblr will post, "Why are there so many cats on my dash?" And they mean, why are there so many posts about cats on my newsfeed? Mutuals means that someone follows you and you follow them back. So if someone makes a post about their mutuals, they're talking to people that they know in real life and follow on Tumblr, and the other person follows them as well. Tags is slang for hashtags underneath posts. OP stands for original poster, and OTP stands for over this post. So OTP is important to look out for because sometimes people will reblog your post and say OTP on it, meaning that they don't like it even though they reblogged it. So it's important to understand for using Tumblr. And that's all that I have. So if anyone had questions that they wanted to send in, type it into the chat and I can try to answer them.
Can you mute Elaine and I'll ask you a question?
Sure. Am I muted?
Yeah, so Elaine, for me, I mean, I get Tumblr to a certain extent, but I'm also really interested to hear, based on your experience with Tumblr and with other social media platforms, what is the difference? What makes Tumblr unique and special and different compared to other social platforms? Let me stop the share. So there we go.
So thank you for that question. One thing that I've seen over and over again in looking at people who use Tumblr for marketing and research Tumblr all the time is that Tumblr is all about knowing how to use the website. So while other platforms like Facebook or Instagram are about knowing your demographics, Tumblr is about understanding the culture and knowing what's good form and what's bad form. So again, a big thing about not commenting on posts unless you're commenting something good. People on Tumblr will sort of rally against you if they don't like you, and they'll really embrace you if they do. Another thing that's very different about Tumblr is that it does draw from a very different demographic than other social media sites. And while the impact of demographic, I think, is slightly lessened than on a site like Facebook, I think that that does stand out in terms of the content that gets reblogged and liked. So for example, the fact that there are so many more Hispanic users on Tumblr than on a site like Facebook is why when from our Peace Corps Tumblr we reblog posts in Spanish or posts from Latin American or Spanish-speaking countries, we get so many more notes sent from other countries. So understanding your demographic is good in knowing what content to post, but succeeding on Tumblr is all about understanding how to use the website and how to sort of follow the rules. Okay. I don't think I'm muting you. Oh, wait.
So based on those differences or any other differences that you notice, obviously it's a lot about the culture, and I'd love to hear a little bit more of your thoughts on that as well. But what content do you think works particularly well on Tumblr? What content should people who are using Tumblr be focused on producing?
So the most successful blogs on Tumblr are the blogs that have really visually appealing content. So Tumblr is all about, travel. Travel blogs are huge. We get a lot of notes from people hashtagging things like travel, adventure. So I think the people who are most successful on Tumblr are people who either have really, really strong visual content to begin with, or people who are willing to create that content for the site. So yeah, I think having good visuals. Tumblr is, though, a really interesting, there's a lot of like political discourse on Tumblr as well. So having an occasional longer text post can work really well. One thing that's worked really well for the Peace Corps Tumblr since I've been here has been sharing graphics. So reblogging graphics from the United Nations about malaria, or from the White House about service. Reblogging graphics and sort of more text-heavy posts can spark a lot of conversations with followers and get followers to reblog and add their own, commentary in the tags, and sort of really interact with your blog. So I think an occasional text post works really, really well to sort of get followers to really, really pick up on your content and really come to your blog and like more posts. So I usually try to put out a text post once or twice a week, and then in between all visual content. But underneath visual content, it's also good to have stories. So that's why I think the Peace Corps Tumblr works very well, is because we have really strong pictures, but we also have good stories. So people really feel like they're interacting with content in a very personal way. And Tumblr is all about sort of building your own image, building your own person, like every social media website, but especially Tumblr, because there are just so many different avenues through which you can do that.
So would you say that there is a magic formula for the combination of content types, but also reblogs? Are you posting more original content than reblogging? Are you reblogging more than you're posting original content? What's the kind of best formula that you've come up with?
For Peace Corps Tumblr, people respond really well to our original content, and reblogging is a good way to interact with volunteers. And also some volunteers just have really, really good content. So when we follow their blogs, we reblog it just because it's objectively really cool. But for us, original content works best. And I think that's because we have such good original content. For other blogs, I think maybe reblogging works well, but having a really good big base of original content is what will get your blog to succeed and will get people to come to your blog. Because if you're only reblogging, people are going to go to the blogs from which you're reblogging and not stay on your blog. So being able to curate is important on Tumblr. Being able to find blogs to follow that are producing good content that you can share with is good. But reblogging is also sort of about building relationships. So when we reblog from volunteers, they usually reblog from us, and then their followers follow us, which is good, because if you're following a volunteer, you're already interested in the Peace Corps. So reblogging is about building relationships as well as sharing content. I think sharing original content is where we're really, really aiming at getting notes, getting reblogs.
And you mentioned how important the culture is on Tumblr, and every social platform I feel like has its own culture, but I think it's really interesting that you noted that the culture specifically, like there are things that you do that could be considered rude that on other platforms might not be considered, out of the ordinary. So are there other aspects to the culture on Tumblr that people who are interested in getting onto it should be aware of?
Yeah, so Tumblr is interesting because it's a place where there's a lot of sharing. Like there are definitely very set communities on Tumblr. So I mean, I think we represent sort of like the travel, the service community, but there are other set communities on Tumblr. There are very cohesive minority communities. So for example, the Hispanic community, the African American community on Tumblr, all like make posts about their experiences, and sometimes they'll reblog posts that reflect those experiences. So I think that that's a very unique function of Tumblr that's really interesting. And I think that because there are set communities on Tumblr, it's really good to try to target communities. So for example, we always try to target young people by posting at certain times of day, and by posting content that appeals to them, content about adventure and about living life and about service for young people. So I think that targeting communities on Tumblr is a good way to sort of navigate Tumblr culture. But even though there are established communities, it's also very much about individualism, and people do get really upset if you reblog their post and change it or comment on it. So I think respecting individual bloggers while also being able to, I think knowing your base is very important. I think being able to know who you're targeting, so targeting young bloggers, and being able to sort of understand how they're interacting on Tumblr and then producing content that they can interact with is important, while also not, overstepping your bounds and trying too hard and reblogging their stuff. If that answers your question.
Any other tips or thoughts for people who are interested in using Tumblr, or things that they should know before we wrap it up? If nobody else has a question, and if you do, you can put it in the chat window.
I think using the queue function is the biggest thing. Making sure you're posting often, but not too often. Usually we do 5 posts a day. And making sure you're spacing out those posts at a time that, if I, post something at 10 a.m., no one reblogs it. But if I repost it 2 hours earlier, you get lots of reblogs because it's early in the morning and people aren't at work or school. So I think not overposting, but not underposting, finding a happy medium that works for your base. And I think figuring out what content people respond to and then giving that to them all the time. That works very well. Again, Latin American countries work very well for us on Tumblr because the base really likes Latin American countries, so we get more reblogs from that. So I think, experimenting, seeing what people respond to, and then giving it to them when they want it.
Great. Awesome. Thank you so much, Elaine. Thanks everybody for watching. And if you have questions about Tumblr or other social media properties, you can email digital@peacecorps.gov, or you can email me, Emily E. Dulkin, at peacecorps.gov. And we are here to fulfill all of your social media needs. So thank you so much, Elaine. You have been amazing this summer. We've loved working with you. And we'll see everybody next time. Bye.